Hey guys, so this is the long version of the video that we were talking about home values. So Trey, take us away from it a little bit as far as some talk about what values have done and things like that over time.
Yeah, so a couple things we could talk about is what values have done over time and interest rates over time and a couple other things. But values, like he was saying in the shortened version, like his mom bought for, what did you say, 80,000?
30,000.
30,000 in the 70s, and now it's worth 750 to 800,000. The trend of prices have always gone up. There might be a time period of 4 to 5 years where you might be going down, or you might be skyrocketing up and market moves like this. But if you stay in the market and you stay in that house for the time period of your loan, it's pretty much always just going to go this way from the time you bought to the time you sold.
I agree with that. That's if you look at the 2000, anywhere from 2000 like 7 and 8 with that when the values took the big hit that they did.
Yeah.
I think that values at the time went down to like 2003 levels or something like that. Is where they actually said at the time, oh, values are down at 2003 levels. At one point it was 2004, then it was 2003 levels, and people panicked. A lot of people gave their homes back to the banks that they didn't have to. They could have kept paying, but what they saw was, oh crap, I'm gonna make this number up, but I paid $300,000 and my house is worth $230,000 today. Why am I paying a mortgage on this? And they stopped paying, gave the house back, and some of them had fixed rates too. They just saw the values of their home drop to where they're like, I'm never gonna get my value back. Why am I paying on this? Well, that home that was worth like, at that time, $230,000 is probably worth $700,000 today.
And that was only 20 years ago.
Not long.
Yeah.
So what they did is they looked at the short term. People do this in the stock market too.
Mm-hmm.
They do the same thing in the stock market. They look at a short term loss, they panic, they sell. An investor or someone that looks long term is the same guy that comes in at that time. I am that guy, actually.
Yeah.
The same guy that comes in at that time and buys that house.
Yeah.
And says, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna buy this while it's falling, knowing that it might fall some more. But overall, the trend is up.
And while you're in that house, even if the value's falling, you're paying down your mortgage.
Yes.
You know, so.
Yes, if you have a 30-year mortgage.
Yeah.
Say the values today, say values do come down. The economy gets bad, worse, although right now things are selling hot still.
Yeah.
But say values do come down in another year. You're a year into paying. Keep paying. Now, before you know it, you're 5 years into paying. Even if the values dipped for a few years, guess what? When it starts coming back, it's going to go back past what it is today.
Yeah.
Or whenever it started dropping. It's going to go past that value, and you're already past paying just the interest, because people don't realize, a lot of people don't realize that on a home mortgage, on a home loan, you're paying the first, I don't know how many years, is almost all interest. The bank gets their money first.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works. Then towards the end, you go to almost all principal.
Mm-hmm.
So at least you're 5 years into paying off
The bank.
the crap,
Yeah.
right? The interest.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna live in the home,
Why not just?
why wouldn't you buy the house today?
Yeah.
I'm going to give an example right now. I won't say the person's name, although, you know what? I am going to say the person's name because he's actually like my best friend. So his name is, I call him Komsky. So hopefully he watches this and he sees it. My buddy Komsky, who we actually buy flips together and do the different things like that. In 2019, he says to me, Dave, I want to buy a house, his own house. And I was like, Combs, are you nuts? Like, why do you want to buy a house today? I think it's near the top of the market. This is in 2019, by the way. I'm like, I think it's near the top of the market. Why would you buy right now? I'm like, we do these flips and stuff, like, that we're getting to it's been a good ride since about 2011 to now. It's gotta end soon. I didn't know about COVID. Nobody knew about COVID.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, but I need somewhere to live. Like, he wanted to have, not in a multifamily, he wanted his own house.
Yeah.
So he goes and I actually was the agent that sold him the house. But I tell a lot of people this when I see them now out showing them houses or something. I tell them this story because I was dead wrong. Here I am telling him, why would you buy today? He's telling me, hey, I need somewhere to live, so I don't care if it goes down a little bit. Next thing you know, that house he bought in 2019 probably appreciated like 35-40% by now. So if he ever listened to me, that was the wrong advice at that time.
And even if it didn't appreciate, he got approved. He could afford the mortgage. He lives in the house that he wants to live in now.
I believe his house is paid off now. I think he's a very responsible person.
Yeah.
But, so it's just funny though that here I was, the professional supposedly, telling him, "Don't buy. This is my best friend," and that's probably why actually. It's almost like if you're, you ever see, it's personal.
Yeah.
So you're like, if a dad ever comes, dads are like killers of real estate deals too, because they want to protect their kids and stuff. But here it was, my best friend, and I wanted to protect him at the time, saying, don't buy. I didn't give advice that I would have given to any other person. I was trying to be too personal.
Yeah.
But overall, the trend in real estate is up.
Yeah.
So I just had a buyer ask the other day, is now a good time to buy? And you never want to be totally on the hook. So I'm like, look, it depends why you're buying.
Yeah.
But if you're buying to live there, if you're not an investor, you can buy. You can go and buy and feel confident that you have your own home. You can do yard work in your own place. It's all going to benefit you over time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the unfortunate part is you never actually own your home. Even when you pay it off,
Yeah, the city.
municipal owns your home.
Yeah.
The cities or towns own your home. Don't pay taxes for a while and see what happens. They own your home.
Yeah.
But the next thing is interest rates.
Yeah.
So everybody, 6%. You think it's going to go into the 5s?
I think I saw a stat actually that we're at the 30-year average, like right around it.
Yes. So I bought my first house in 2001 or 2 or something like that, and I paid 6.5%.
Yeah. So
That's what I paid, 6.5%. That being said, my mom had a mortgage before of like 16%.
yeah.
Or
My
50%.
grandparents. My
Something
grandfather
insane.
told me his was 19%.
It was something insane.
Yeah.
So everybody that's thinking, oh, I want to wait till the
Interest
rates
rates
come
come
down. Okay, you might be waiting a long time. Maybe not. We could be wrong. Maybe they'll come down to 4.5. I don't know. But the other thing that people aren't thinking of is, because they wish them to come down, what if they go up to 10?
Then you're a genius.
Then if you bought today, you're a genius.
Yeah.
So I think I would keep that in mind, is that maybe they won't come down. Maybe they'll go up with stagflation and things like that are potential to happen. Maybe rates go up and the Fed can't get things to come down, and we just can't get it to the rates to come into the 5s or the 4.5s. If it does go to the 4.5s, say it goes to 4.5,
Yeah.
refi.
Yeah.
If you want to refi,
So if it goes
refi.
down, it's good news because you can always refi. If it goes up, good news because you.
Because
bought
then you
at a
look
good
like a
time.
genius.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I really think if you're gonna live in a home, buy it.
Yeah.
If you find the house you like, if you find the house that you want to live in for the next however long, buy it.
I don't know if you know like the exact numbers, but how much does a point even make a difference on your mortgage? Like if there were interest rates were go down 1 point, a couple $100.
It can be a couple $100. It depends on what
Yeah, the cost,
the
the
mortgage
cost.
amount is.
Yeah.
So if you're financing $2 million,
Yeah.
1 point is a huge deal.
Yeah, true.
So that's why a lot of mortgage brokers, and I don't want to, cross paths here with mortgage brokers, but mortgage brokers, you'll hear a lot say, "Oh, refi, it's down a point," or whatever, something like that. If you only owe, I actually ran into this on a couple of my properties back a little ways. I didn't really owe enough to refi. It wasn't worth it. If you owe only, say, $120,000,
So you can make a little difference in your
barely
mortgage.
anything.
Yeah.
If you owe $700,000, it starts making a difference. So it's very easy to get that information. I have mortgage calculators. Trey has mortgage calculators that he can if you want to call us or DM us or whatever. Is that the right word? DM now? Is
DM.
DM?
Yeah, direct message.
It used to be PM, wasn't it? Private message or something like that?
I don't remember that those days.
so I'm old. So DM.
Yeah, DM.
All right, so you can DM either one of us. We can give you exactly what it would do. So if you want to buy a house or if you already own a house and you're looking to refi or whatever, if you want to buy a house though and you're putting down so much and you want to have a $400,000 mortgage and rates changed by 0.5%, we can get you the information how much that's actually going to affect you.
Yeah.
The bigger point, I think, is people's buying power. That's where rates really can come in to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Is if a rate goes up a percent. So if rates were 4 and now it's 6.5, from the time that someone thought that they were going to wait for the rates to come back down to the 3s, because I had those people. Oh no, I want to wait for the rates to go back to the 3s. Okay, so if they didn't do anything and they signed a lease for a year, and then the rates went, actually at one point we were looking at 7 something. Rates went 7 something.
They can't afford
Now they can't buy because their pre-approval came down
by a lot, probably.
by a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. So they can't buy.
Go to East Palm to buy.
Yes, and then they're making up the difference in fuel.
Yes, yeah.
So if you have an electric car, you make it up in your electric bill. Wait till you plug into your house. I have one of those. All sounds good till you realize that electricity is not free. So that being said, overall, right now is not a bad time to buy. It's honestly not.
And then also to the point that if you're renting, you're paying your landlord's mortgage anyways. Yeah, you're paying his mortgage anyways. So
I should be telling everybody, keep renting.
Yeah.
I have a house for you to rent.
Yeah.
I will actually buy another house
For you to rent.
so you can rent it.
Yeah. And it's probably not even a terrible time for an investor to buy,
No, it's
depending
not.
on the deal.
It's not. If the numbers
You
for
can
an
break
investor,
even at least. You're paying down the mortgage over time.
right?
Yeah, so-
I mean, we don't want to get too far
Yeah.
off, but for an investor
Yeah.
also, if the numbers are gonna work, it's a good house to buy. I ended up buying one last year that I wasn't planning on buying another house, but the numbers just worked.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm like a girl with shoes. Now they have a lot of shoes.
Yeah.
Different people have
You got a
different
lot of
things they
houses.
love. That's the house. I can't stop. But
like
I want to stop. I want to stop.
Houses are cooler than shoes.
Yes, shoes go down in value. Unless
Yeah.
it's like Prada or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't even know if that's a shoe, but
Probably.
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah,
that's
they
a
got some
shoe.
Louis
The
V.
red bottom
Yeah.
shoes.
The red bottoms, yeah.
So those are shoes. But at least houses, I know my house is going to go up in value.
Yeah.
It may take a dip, just like we talked about.
Yeah.
It may take a dip. I don't give a damn. So the thing that changed for me, and we don't want to make this too long. You guys can stop watching whenever you want anyway. But the thing that changed for me that actually made it so I started building net worth is when I learned my first kid was coming. I used to think everything was always, oh, I need to make money in the next year to 3 years, right? When you find out you have a kid coming, it's, shit, I need to make money for the next 20 years. I need to make something worth it in 20 years.
Yeah, and the best way to do it is real estate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that changed my perspective on things. And if you start looking at that, you go, okay, in 20 years, is my house going to be worth more or less in 20 years?
More, yeah.
There is no doubt in my mind it's going to be worth more.
Of course.
They don't make any more land unless you go to Dubai, and then they're just filling in sand.
Yeah.
Right? So they got those big boats that push the sand in. But other than that, we're not making islands over here in the US. So overall, your house could be worth more. I could talk all day long. We can make a video talk tomorrow. But instead, we should probably wrap up this video.
Yeah, you could sign us off.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the sign off. So it's the Behind the Sign guys, and this is Trey DeBraga, Dave Newbold. We are gonna sign out until next time, and we'll give you another long video like this maybe, unless you guys hate it. Again, you guys don't have to watch all the way to the end like this. But for Tim, I did the intro before. Tim, I'm gonna give you another smile. See? And Komsky, sorry I used your name, but I just had to tell a story.
And for his mom, she's doing good with her house.
Yes, she loves paying those municipal taxes that are more money than her mortgage and her taxes used to be. But now she's almost 70 years old and she's using all the benefits the town has to give her,
Nice.
which are zero.
Yeah.
But, we went to school there or whatever. So, until next time, watch us on Behind the Sign. Later, guys.
Peace.